And it's on day 5 that we see a return of Yokozuna Takanohana. His Oyakata said his shoulder wasn't too bad, and he can continue fighting. Well, it's been a long time since a Yokozuna dropped out for a day and then came back again. Way back in 1954, I think, was the last time it happened. And here he comes into the basement of the Kokugikan. It's the Ozeki and the Yokozuna ranks that are allowed to come into the Kokugikan by car. The rest have to travel as best they can. And there he is, surrounded by his attendants. A Yokozuna would have up to 10 attendants to assist him in his daily tasks. Well, his shoulder was bad. His stable boss said that he could hardly lift his arm up after the bout. But anyway, he seems to be able to do it now. And here he's doing his Yokozuna Dohyo Iri. Although it was noticeable when he did it a couple of days ago that he had trouble lifting his leg up. Certainly doesn't stamp it down very hard. Well, a little gentle stamp there. Said by some to symbolize the crushing of skulls, or perhaps the driving out of devils from the ring. Well, he's doing his Yokozuna Dohyo Iri just over the center of the ring where sacred objects are buried, always buried at the start of a tournament. Well, at the start of day 5, 3 in the lead, Asashoryu, Kaiho and Kotoryu with 4 straight wins. On to our first of our bouts, which is Jumonji and Otsukasa. Weight-wise, very much the same. So rather uncertain start there, but it's Otsukasa who manages to try and drag down Jumonji, but it's Jumonji that goes over the edge with from yorikiri. 3rd win for Otsukasa and 4th loss for Jumonji. Next out, newcomer Kasugao. Last time he fought here in the Kokugikan was in the Juryo division against Gojoro, whose last basho he only had 4 wins, so not a good basho for him last time, but Gojoro powers forward. But it's Kasugao, newcomer Kasugao, who weathers the storm and drives back from the edge to put Gojoro over the edge. That's 2nd loss for Gojoro and 4th win for Kasugao. Now from the noise of the crowd, you can tell it's a favourite, and here he is, Robocop Takamisakari, ex-amateur champion in Japan. Quite small, 135 kilos against Kasuganishiki, who's a little bit heavier, not much, at about 144. Well, it's bounce rocking backwards and forwards there, and it's Kasuganishiki that gets driven over the edge with yoritaoshi. Yorikiri is the big scorer in sumo. Yoritaoshi is where they get pushed over the edge and drop down at the same time. So Takamisakari with his 4th win. He's doing rather well. He's only had 1 loss so far. That was 3rd loss for Kasuganishiki. Now we have Takanotsuru, who looks remarkably like Toki. I think it's probably the sideburns more than anything. So there's 2 of them now, with long distinctive hair at the side of their faces. And he's fighting Kotoryu. Takanotsuru, big wrestler, 170. Any wrestler over 170 is supposedly having his weight monitored by the Sumo Association. Over 170 kilos is reckoned to be too heavy. They monitor it, but I'm not sure they do much about it. Well, Takanotsuru pushing in hard. He had his forearm under the chin of Kotoryu. Kotoryu survives that. Comes back in, but the height and heavier weight of Takanotsuru overwhelms him. So Kotoryu takes his 1st loss. And that was the 4th win for Takanotsuru. So both their scores the same now, 4-1. Wakanoyama sat out of sumo for quite a long time, or out of top division sumo for a long time, had diabetes, but that's an occupational hazard. In sumo, quite a few of them get that because of the enormous amounts of food they eat. Wakanoyama powering Tochinonada to the edge, but Tochinonada comfortably moving back, does a turn of direction and drives Wakanoyama over the edge. Well, these sumo wrestlers have a particular style of or food regime. They get up in the morning and train. After the training, they have a huge meal, then they fall asleep after that, and that really puts on a lot of weight. But some people are now starting to suggest that they should get up and have breakfast, give it a little while, and then do their training, and then they wouldn't have to eat quite so much at midday. It certainly puts on the weight with that food regime. But a lot of wrestlers, young wrestlers, are coming in at the age of 15 or 16, over 100 kilos. They're already too fat before they start. Then they go onto the sumo diet that makes them even more, even fatter. So that's not too good. So that regime, people are suggesting should be changed. Well, that was a win there for Kyokushuzan over Akinoshima. Next out, Northern Fighting Power. Hokutoriki fights the island of Tamanoshima. Hokutoriki there driving forward. Well, not much of a fight from Tamanoshima. He relaxed a little bit on the edge and he got dumped in the audience for his troubles. So that's second win for Hokutoriki. So tsukidashi win for Hokutoriki. That's a slightly rear view of the Futokoyama Oyakata. This is the man who'll be coming up shortly. Takanohana doing his Yokozuna Dohyo Iri. There he is, sitting there. What's going through his head? Does he think this is it? A few more bouts and that's the end of his fighting career, or is he hanging on in there? Well, as the wrestlers go through their motions of sword throwing, slapping their belts, stamping the ground, tension rises. Now we have Rocky Mountain Iwakiyama against Shimotori. Frostbird Shimotori. Iwakiyama making all the running. He's doing rather well this time. Tries a leg grab. Shimotori hanging on the edge there. And it's touch and go. Well, difficult to say who touched down first there. The referee's given it to Iwakiyama, but there's an objection, an iggy, as they call it, from one of the umpires. Let's watch that in slow motion. Who does touch down first? Well, it looked to me like Iwakiyama. So it's the referee was wrong. It was a Sashi Chigai. So it's Shimotori who gets that one, and there's a black mark against the Gyoji, the referee. So Shimotori takes that one. Takanohana doing some light exercises with one of his tsukebito. Tsukebito pushing to the chest and Takanohana just pushing the hand up and over his shoulder. Next out, Tosanoumi, 160 kilos against little Kaiho at 122 kilos. Kaiho, we can expect to do a swift change at the tachiai, but he didn't. He goes straight forward, trading slaps and pushes here, although he's been bounced off the bigger pushes of Tosanoumi, but they're a swift reversal of direction from push to pull, and down goes little Kaiho. Bites the dust from a hatakikomi, a slap down of Tosanoumi. Tosanoumi now with a 4-1 record, and Kaiho same, 4-1. Now Takanonami fights a much lighter wrestler, Tokitsuumi, some 40 kilos difference between the two of them. Takanonami's last basho, he had 10 wins. Well, there he gets that one. Does a slap down right on the edge as Tokitsuumi drives forward. Hatakikomi win for Takanonami. So that's 3 wins for him with 2 losses, and Tokitsuumi with 2 wins and 3 losses. Well, Takanohana's raising a bit of sweat there in the preparation room, the shitakubeya. Now we have the powerful wrestler, Wakanosato. He's got a lot of power. He's a skillful wrestler, but he needs more technique. Now, Kotomitsuki is the man with the technique, but has he got the body? He's had a lot of injuries recently. Well, look at that slam there. You get some idea of the power of the slam. They just whack straight into each other. This is what's said to be causing a lot of injuries in sumo now, but Wakanosato just closing him down. Kotomitsuki comes back with a rush, gets almost behind, stays behind, and drops him down from behind almost an okuri dashi technique. You can see some blood on Wakanosato's lips from all that slapping. The thrust to the face at the beginning of that bout. So Kotomitsuki gets that one. 3 wins for him, and 2 losses, same for Wakanosato. Now Takanowaka against Ami Nishiki. Ami Nishiki, a skillful lightweight wrestler. Takanowaka on a little bit of a roll. Had 11 wins in the previous basho. Ami Nishiki staying in close, tries a leg grab. Still keeps going forward, but it's the greater weight of Takanowaka. He tries that kotenagi, that's that arm-breaking throw that Takanonami's rather good at, and that spins the lighter man over the edge. Oshidashi win there for Takanowaka. Well, here comes the grand champion. He'll go to the edge of the ring, the dojo, where he'll have his own embroidered cushion there placed for him. Top-ranking wrestlers have their own cushions with their own names on it. Further down the scale, the less comfortable it gets for the wrestlers. The lowest ranked wrestlers of the lot sit on virtually a piece of cardboard. Now this next one's going to be interesting. Double Mongolian bill. It's Asa Shoryu with 5 straight wins. He's against Kyokutenho. Kyokutenho, somewhat gentle wrestler. He wins. He's a very skillful wrestler. He's done very well in the Makuuchi division. Has he got the fighting spirit to match Asa Shoryu's fighting spirit? And there it is. Look at the power of that man. He's small, and yet he's just like the great Chiyonofuji of some years ago, 8-9 years ago was it now, who somehow just had this massive amount of power that just spun the much bigger wrestlers over. Well, Asa Shoryu locked on the belt. He had a hand on the back of Kyokutenho's neck, and he just spun him over with the overarm throw. Watenagi win there for Asa Shoryu. 5 straight wins, and in the lead. Now Tochiazuma having a terrible basho so far against Dejima. Well, Dejima will come out like a rocket, driving forward. Very predictable, lowers his head. Tochiazuma meets him, drives him back to the edge. Dejima recovers, going backwards and forwards there in this really narrow circle. And then it's a twist over there. And it's Dejima who takes it. And it looks like Tochiazuma hurt himself. That's a very hard surface to fall on. And those straw bales aren't easy to fall on either. Well, that was touch and go, but Dejima got that one. There'd be no objections from the umpires. So Dejima with 4 wins and 5 straight losses for Tochiazuma. Looks to me like he hurt his shoulder rather badly there. We'll see what happens. Now Kotonowaka. Both these wrestlers over 170 kilos apiece, which is 375 pounds by my reckoning, some 27 stone each wrestler, 54 stone in the ring there. But it's big Kotonowaka who's straight arms with oshidashi Musoyama over the edge. Kotonowaka needed that win, hasn't done very well so far. Right now, there's the bout. It's Takanohana against Toki. Well, Toki is a rough Rikishi, uses his arms. There's his brother. There's the one-time Yokozuna, Wakanohana, watching from the side. He's now a television personality, presenter in Japan. So Takanohana, the last time he fought, he really went flying over from a massive throw. And that's when he hurt his shoulder, but he seems to be all right. It wasn't his knee that went. So Toki some 30 kilos heavier than the Yokozuna on the left there. There's those long arms of Toki. But Takanohana will try and close him down. He'll try and get his hand on Toki's belt. Toki is not putting up with any of this. He's driving the Yokozuna back. Yokozuna still hasn't got the belt. He's not looking at all comfortable there. He can't get Toki's belt. He's trading pushes, which is unusual for him. And finally, Toki goes over the edge. Well, Takanohana won that one, but I wouldn't say it was a comfortable win. He looked unsteady in the ring there, and his face shows it. He didn't like that bout. He knows he's hanging on by a thread these days. So that's Takanohana with 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 missed one day when he sat it out. Well, I wonder what's going through his head. Is he thinking, is it worth it? Can I carry on? Do I want to put in bouts like that in the future? Let's watch this one again. There's Toki's long arms. Now, normally Takanohana gets the belt. When he gets the belt, he's almost unstoppable. But here, he doesn't either seem to be going for it. There's a slap against his face. There's a throat push from Toki. Well, they're not a great respecter of ranks in Japan. Well, I say that they are actually, but when it's fighting, they're not so respectful. There's another slap to the face. Well, it's an exciting bout. Well, at the end of day 5, we have Asashoryu solely in the lead with 5 straight wins. Here's the man being interviewed by the press corps, but he never says very much. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with more sumo.